Full-time? Full-time. You're listening to Full-Time Daughter. It's a full-time job at this point.
Welcome back to another episode of Full-Time Daughter with
Isabel
and Cailyn.
Another week.
Another episode.
How are we doing?
We're doing a lot better.
A lot better, I would say.
Since last episode when thing after thing was going awry when we were trying to record. And honestly, this episode kind of went through the trenches too. Like there was some
trial and error.
Reworking
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's symbolic.
Yeah, so real.
I think this week really represented, or this episode really represents the week we've had. But you know that saying, like, there's light at the end of the tunnel? I fully believe that.
This episode is the proof of that because
100%.
We really tried. We tried to record the same episode not even 24 hours ago, and we just didn't like the outcome.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. Like, sometimes you have to rework something in order to
for sure
make it make sense.
I think it can still be a very meaningful episode, and we still have so much to say about it, so we're still doing it.
Low-key we were making some points.
No, we were like, wait, we kind of cooked.
And yeah, we were like, we're kind of dropping bars.
Did we cooked, like, you could eat it, like, it's edible, but is it good?
It might be a little stale.
It's like, a little stale. Maybe it's a little too salty and simple.
It's
a little cold. Room temp. I guess this week has been a little like, how else would there's no words
for it,
but I think that just comes with life and where we're at, I guess,
and learning.
Like,
learning as we go.
Learning as we go. Isn't it part of the process? All of this podcast, a lot of the times we have so much fun on here, and we talk our silly stories, and we talk about Love Island and Temptation Island,
like, we talk about
everything
things.
But we also have those moments that we're like, wait, let's reel it back.
Let's reel it back.
We gotta get back to the main idea of this podcast, which is just life in our 20s, and that includes the not so fun, glamorous parts. And I guess this week we just wanted to talk about some things that have come up that we've learned, in our 20s, give you guys our personal experiences and advice.
Yeah.
Maybe this can be relatable, because a lot of these things, at least for me, I felt very much alone. And I think when I spoke about it or I heard it from another person, I was like, wait, I'm normal? Like, oh my God, like, I'm not crazy. I'm a normal 20-year-old? Cool. Like, awesome.
For sure.
So, yeah, I think we should just jump right into it. These are just some things that we've learned in our 20s, things that we wish someone would have prepared us for and told us about. And
things that you just don't know until you're in it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
100%.
Wow, we're really in the pits of being in our 20s. But it comes with a lot of good things too.
100%. Well, I think the first thing everyone should know, whether you're younger or if you're 20 in your 20s and you're hearing this, everyone's experiences are so different. I don't think you're ever going to meet someone that has like an exact, like the exact same experiences as you. I feel like when you were younger, it was so normal to meet someone that had like, oh, we went to the same school, we liked the same things, we did the same hobbies,
same
like
interests.
Exactly. And I think as you get older, you start kind of going your own, like, branching out,
and you're also exposed to like so many different things, like characters, personalities,
100%
interests. Like, you'll learn about things that people are doing that you didn't even know were possible, and you're like, I didn't even know that was a job.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I love that.
I completely agree with you. And you'll see like people on Instagram or people that you went to high school with, or literally anyone, people that you sat next to in college, and they're off getting married. You see someone having a baby, someone's traveling
abroad.
Right. Someone is working their like corporate baddie job. Like,
yeah,
there's so many different ways of life and like timelines. And I feel like the biggest thing that I've struggled with is not comparing my path to other people's paths, and my success like isn't determined by like other people's. Like, I shouldn't be like, oh, they have a super nice apartment and they have a super nice car and they're going on trips and all that stuff, and that makes them successful, and then I'm over here and I don't have an apartment, I don't have that super nice car, I don't have all these like glamorous trips.
That's
does that
really
make
hard
me less
too.
than, you know?
Yeah, it's so hard when you're constantly seeing other people's lives, which is the hard part about social media too, because
The overexposure.
I think it's so much
Oh yeah.
exposure to
Oh,
things
100%.
that we probably shouldn't even have access to. It's really hard when you see people constantly only posting really good parts of life, and then you start to think that's the normal. Like, that is so
That's
normal.
the norm?
That's the norm, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, no one would ever post like, I just got dumped on
Right.
their on their main
Except
page.
us. Like,
except
us on our podcast.
Except us. We will be doing that.
You will know that. You will know that
Obviously, no one ever wants you to see that they're failing or that they're
Right.
struggling, you know? Everyone just wants to see themselves when they're up and they're
They feel
glamorous
good.
and
Right.
they feel good. But I also think about, is this a saying or not? This is something I feel like I do.
Mm-hmm.
No, like literally I don't know sayings. Like, you know, like sayings that people like hit the nail on the
Like,
head.
The idioms. Or,
Right.
Is that what they're called?
Well,
Whatever. You know, it's fine. Idioms.
you know that thing that it's like comparison is
The thief of joy.
the thief of joy. I think back to that quote all the time because I'm like, yeah, like I can't be them. Would I want to be them? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
And the lifestyle that they're living, maybe I'm not, you know, like capable of doing that
Yeah.
or being that way. And I feel like as you get older and like, I don't know, I'm 22, right? I think I've learned that no one's life is the same. No one's experiences are the same. You're not meant to be on the same path. And I don't think you're supposed to compare yourself to the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really hard though, because when you socialize with your friends, when you see people on social media, I don't know if it's that we want to be like relatable. We want to match that energy. We want to match the level that they're at.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's this thing of like our successes, air quotes, whatever that might be. An amazing job,
Right.
the apartment, whatever it is, right? I don't know if that's like,
Measured.
yes. You get what I'm saying. No. Let her cook. Let her cook. Let her cook. I don't know if all those things, like the material items, all those stuff, like
That's the value is placed in,
right, because
money.
I feel like
or like how much success you're getting or doing.
no, I get you. And I also think it's so much harder like post grad when you just like finish college. I mean, I'm talking from our experiences. No, I know.
No,
Girl.
because
I'm speaking from our experiences. We went to college. I don't think you need to go to college to
No, for
feel
sure.
the things that we're feeling. But as soon as we graduated, I think it was like we were dumped into this like
the
whole new
real
world. Some people are getting internships. Some people are getting jobs. Some people are off on trips. Some people are struggling to find a job. And I feel like, at least for me, it was such a struggle interacting with other people that had like literally amazing apartments, amazing like clothes, like they went to concerts all the time,
Yeah.
went to trips all the time. And like while I get to do so many of these things, it wasn't like the same for some reason. Like I was like, but I'm not at your level, and why am I not at your level? And it was this constant like comparison, and like it came back to like your worth being tied to the money you make, being tied to whether or not I have this amazing job, whether or not I have this amazing apartment, whether or not I get to do all these cool things like side quests. And I just wish that I would think about that a little less. I wish that I could detach
I
from
know.
that and be like, okay, I'm good on my own. Like, this is what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Like, I do my own thing.
Yeah.
Could you do it?
But I think we only think that because like that's the only experience we've ever known.
Yeah.
And so like living at home, being around our parents all the time, like that experience is what we've grown up with, that we're like, oh, I never went away. And
Yeah.
I never had that experience of having to like fend for yourself pretty much and like make yourself meals and go to class and like on your own timing. You always kind of had the security blanket of like knowing that your family was around. At least for us, that was our experience. So I think we struggle with comparison because the other people who fully experienced like the college experience, quote, that like picture perfect, like we're going to parties, we're going to class, like we're out of state, that experience we didn't get to experience.
Yeah.
So we think we're like behind and not adult enough. We're like, oh, all these people are so much more ahead of us because they already experienced the teenage, very young 20 experience of like being on your own.
I also think it's like, I like that you touched upon like independence and stuff like that, because I think it does, that's part of it. Like, because we live at home, I feel like I do have a lot of independence, but at the same time, I do have a safety net of like, I have a house with my family. I'm never alone, you know. I have company
you're never alone.
Right, like if I need to make plans, like I have them, you know. And
like you can still very much do what you need to do.
Yeah.
And have your own life separate from your family, but it's that idea of like a lot of people our age have been on their own and they've had to work it out, and like we've never had that experience. So now that we're in our 20s, and when you meet people for the first time and people ask you like, oh, what are you doing, like what are you up to, what are you interested in, and then you're just like, oh, like I don't know, I'm post-grad, I'm living with my family still, like I'm still figuring out my job, I don't really know what my passions are yet or where my passions are going to lead me. It makes you feel so like not adequate enough, or like worth anything, because
for sure
people have so many high expectations of you, and you don't know if you're meeting their expectations, which you should fully be meeting like your own standards and your own expectations, not anyone else's or what they wish.
But I think
what they place on you.
I think that this decade, that just like comes with the territory though, like always being faced with other people's lives and then comparing it to your own and being like, oh, and damn.
Then people projecting onto you what they wish.
Are we gonna get into that right now? Like, do you want to get into projection right now?
Either what they didn't accomplish, or just having high expectations of you, where they know you have like so much potential and they know that you could be doing the most. You
kind of feel like you're an adult. Like, yes, I am an adult. Like, I have to cook my own meals. I have to take myself to the doctor. I have to I have to you know, figure out everything for myself. But you feel like an adult, but you also feel like you're falling behind at the same time. You kind of feel like,
it's the weirdest thing.
It's really weird because you're like, wait, I was like 18 like a few years ago, you know what I mean?
The weirdest
I was 18 yesterday
ever.
Like what are you talking about? And then you're like, oh wait,
but I'm also mature.
Like, I'm 22. Okay, so it's like this weird feeling of in between, and I think that's just something that I kind of think about, like the Taylor Swift lyric.
How can a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22?
Well, yeah, because right now at 22, I literally feel like I know nothing. Actually, that's a lie. I do feel like I know myself better than I did when I was a teenager, because I feel like I'm a more authentic version of myself now, and I think that when I was younger,
you evolve too. Like you learn so many new things about yourself, what you like, what you don't like. Right. So you obviously evolve, and of course, we're gonna look back at our past selves and be like, "What the fuck were we saying? What were we wearing?
I completely, I know
that wasn't me."
Trust. I think that as you get older, you start just like, you evolve, you mature, your interests change, what becomes like things that are important to you, your priorities change, and I think that I don't know myself as much as I did when I was 18, where I knew like what I liked, my hobbies, what I wanted to be. Like when I was 18, I had my career like set. I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna be this. I know what I like. I know what music I like all these things. And then when I became 22, I was like, wait, head scratch. Like, wait, I don't know if I like this. I literally text my friends. I'm like, I don't know if I like this. Do I like this? Do I look cute? Is this cool? Like, what's cool anymore?
True.
You know,
like
you
second guess everything.
You second guess
down
everything
to, like,
about yourself.
The pictures we're posting, and being like, wait, do I even? Is this like weird? Is this annoying? Like, why do we care so much? That's another thing, because when we were children, it was like we were doing things for fun.
For sure.
Fully doing things for the sake of enjoying it. And now we're perceivers and we're like, wait. I think it comes back to that thing where it's like we really care about how other people
see us.
As much as we hate that.
Because I think it comes down to like the value. It comes down to our value. Like if I'm seen as not successful, not cute, not thriving, that's the worst thing ever.
Obviously that's going to be the worst thing to us, possibly, that anyone could ever tell us.
Well, yeah.
Because we are, like, we place so much value into what people think of us. Obviously, I think everyone wants to feel that people think highly of them.
And I think that's why, like, sometimes we may fall into those, like, people pleaser tendencies. We fall into, like, the groupie kind of vibe where it's like, I just do whatever with, like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. I hope that if you're listening and you're in your 20s, you just know that it's okay not to know yourself completely. I feel like that's part of the process, like learning what you like, learning who you want to be, what you want to be. And I think you just have to literally like go through the trenches, like army crawl through the trenches that is this decade of our lives, and kind of just take it day by day, because I feel like if we continue to compare ourselves to other people or want to like match other people, we're never going to truly know ourselves or be happy. I don't know. I just feel like I see my beautiful, beautiful, incredible friends, and then I'm like, wow, they do their job so well. And they literally win at life. Like they do the damn thing. But I don't know if I could ever match that energy of like being like, would I even want to be exactly like that?
Because you have different dreams.
Right.
You
like
may not know what exactly that dream is, but that doesn't make it any less than other people's version.
What's her name? Meg March. What's her name? Emma Watson in Little Women. She was like, just because my dreams aren't as important as yours or whatever. Guys, don't kill me for not quoting it, please.
No, but
you get it, right?
We know the scene.
I guess like practice like individuality for real. Like for real.
Yeah,
like this ain't a hive mind. Like let's try to be ourselves.
Out.
Yes.
Individualism is in
propaganda. I am falling for individualism, bro. Be yourself, be unique.
Yeah.
Figure out your passions and your interests, and I think it's okay to try out different things. Like, oh my god, these people do this. Like, we were literally just talking about rock climbing. Like, am I gonna try rock climbing? Perhaps.
Yeah, like we say it
try
was giving
things
us
out.
like 2 seconds ago. We could be on the record saying something 1 minute, but don't quote us on that, because things change very quickly.
But you know, speaking of, let's talk about the people that you meet in your 20s, because
so many different people,
so many different characters, as Cailyn said earlier. I think it's also very funny that you're gonna be friends with, like, you're gonna have friends that are 27, and then you're gonna have friends that are like 2 years older than you, and then you're gonna have one friend that's like a couple months younger than you. You know, it's like so funny. You just start meeting people
really funny
from all walks of life. I love it.
I think also, like, I think about people and their jobs too, and how someone could be working their first job, and someone could be like in their post-retirement, like that's just like their side job, and they're so much older, and there's so many different like age groups going on,
for sure, and like different things that are happening. Like, I remember one time I was working with like a pregnant woman, and I was just like, dude, like, that's damn. Crazy.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? And I'm here like
that's
we're
crazy.
in our young 20s, like we don't know shit, trying to figure out our life, and this person's like already pretty much fully
a mom,
been through,
fully done everything. Like, it's just so crazy. But I also think you're gonna meet people that are genuine characters, and like you're gonna be like, wow, that was something for sure.
It's moments like those though, like there's so many moments where I'll catch myself people watching, or just like seeing people in the wild, or analyzing from an outside perspective reality shows. Conversations are being had, and I'm like, wait, because I would never do that. Like, I would never say that.
I get you. You start like seeing things and you're like, wait, like, are people like this?
Like it puts into perspective who you are as a human being.
I do think it's normal to be like, oh my god, like, I must be the worst human being. I mean, I don't know if that's normal or that's just a me thing, but it's crossed my mind before where I'm like, damn, like, I don't know, like you kind of question, you kind of question it, and then we'll like tune into reality TV shows and we're seeing their behavior, and you're like, never mind, actually
I think it's pretty normal.
Yeah. Or even like when we're out and about and we're like meeting mutuals, or we're meeting, you know, new people, we're like, that was something. That was very different. And you kind of learn like what you like, what you don't like, and the kind of people that you like gravitate towards and all that stuff. And I think this is like the decade where you kind of start building up like the kind of people that you want to meet, the kind of friendships that you want to cultivate and like nurture. I think you also think about like dating and partners and stuff like that. I think you're going to meet a lot of people in your 20s who you meet the I'm dating to marry people, I'm dating because I want a situationship, I'm dating just to hook up, just like for fun. I don't want anything serious. And you're gonna like, I don't know, it's gonna be a lot. Like I think it's a lot.
You're gonna meet people who say one thing, mean another. Like you never really know anyone's intentions.
Guys, I feel like I keep saying this, but it's like take it day by day and go with the flow, because this is like the most confusing, I hate to say horrible time, but it really is. Like I haven't struggled as much ever in my life, mentally, emotionally, and I think that's okay, because like 30s are going to be thriving for sure. But I think that it's meant to be
the only reason
challenging,
that it's horrible, quote unquote, is because it's an experience that you're having for the first time,
right? And
so in your 20s is when you have to face it head on for the first time, and like all these new experiences are being slammed right into your face, and it's like, figure it out. And that's why it's so scary and like so uncomfortable. But yeah, when the 30s hit, I just know
we're gonna be literally thriving. Trust, we're gonna be thriving. Glowing. I like look forward to it.
So many people are scared of that.
I'm not really scared of it. I'm excited to grow up.
I am too.
I think
no, but tell me why.
I think it's
like
fun.
I knew someone who turned 20 like a couple days ago.
Okay.
And they were telling me that they were scared of turning 20.
Okay, but I get that.
Because my teenage years are gone.
That's like, I felt that way too. When I was a teenager, I was like, oh my God, no, I want to be 18. Like, I love this. I love being a teenager. But I also hated being a teenager too, because you lacked that independence. I wanted to be on my own. I wanted to do my own stuff and live by my own rules. But now that I'm in my 20s, I enjoy being in the present. And I think that's something that everyone has to do. Like, definitely enjoy where you're at and know that it's not always going to be this way. And so that can be taken both in a good way and a bad way. Like, do with that what you will. But I am not scared of growing up. I'm like excited.
I am too.
I'm excited for like, I know I'm an adult, but I think of like adult me, like has her shit together, homeowner, you know, maybe she has a pet.
She's manifesting.
Yeah, like I'm excited to see me like as a mom eventually, like like fully, I don't know, just like grown. I don't think that's anything to fear.
I don't either.
I think that's something you should be excited about. I think it's a
beautiful part of life, and I think like we're lucky enough if we get to be that age, like to experience that. So I just think it's a beautiful thing. I'm excited. And also like, you know how many exciting things are around the corner that you just like don't know are about to come. Like we think the best day of our life has happened. Like I don't know what I would consider the best day of my life, but I'm sure like thus far, if I think back, I'm like, that was such a beautiful day. But like I've had so many days where I've thought that, where I'm like, this is the perfect day, the best day of my life. And
can you also imagine
so many are coming.
And can you imagine like all the people that we haven't met yet that are like gonna be so vital to our lives, or like that's moments that are gonna be like core memories, and just like the things that are really gonna shape us and our adulthood. Kind of crazy.
I mean, like even us meeting, like we would have thought we've known each other our entire life, but it's only been 2 years.
I will agree with that.
So that's great. Like 2 years ago,
I know
we couldn't have said that we had a podcast or that we were best friends. I don't know.
That's like very crazy to me. I don't know. That's
because
weird.
Like to me, we've been doing this like our entire life. We've been talking on these mics for years. Like we're gonna be talking on these mics. Expect us.
And it's also just like I've been talking to you.
We're gonna be like living side by side in our little like cottages with our husbands, and then we're gonna send them off.
Go forage.
I don't know how I feel. Forage.
Go pick some berries, maybe.
We're literally talking about like the most serious, like the most pivotal moments of our lives.
Here's the thing. I'm very excited for our 20s. If I just thought of like the bet that we have for the 20s.
Oh my God.
The bet I have for you, which is by your 26th year of life. Girl, I'm counting down.
3 years away.
Light years.
No, I said.
Did you say that's light years away?
No, I said that's 3 years away.
I also know that
what.
I'm gonna be at your wedding. Like, I also know.
Sure.
No. Like, I fully know.
No, for sure. Like,
I
what do you
fully know
mean?
I'm gonna be there at the proposal.
And if I'm not at yours, like,
girl,
no,
what do you
like,
mean you're
that's
not at
crazy.
mine? You're gonna be there. What the heck?
No, I'm like, if I'm not at,
You're
that's
gonna
a
be
crazy
there.
statement. Like,
No, that's
we're
crazy.
definitely gonna.
And it's also like we're gonna be there at the birthday parties,
Oh
and like it's
God.
just so cute. I'm so excited.
Imagine
Okay.
we have children.
No, I know. My kids are gonna be so cute.
Oh my god. Well, you know how like people are always like, oh my god, I can't wait for our like kids to know each other, and like, but like we don't even know like, what if one's like a girl and one's a guy, and then they like fall in love.
You want them to be like the summer and turn
no,
pretty?
No, that's kind of messy.
Wait, do you? Yeah, right. Because then
Yeah,
what
that's
if they
kinda
like don't like?
messy.
I want them to be like friends, like cousins,
Friends.
like distant cousins. Like they're like, oh, we're cousins, but like we're not related.
But we're not. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have
That's.
some of
I
those.
think. Yeah.
We all got some of those.
Right.
That's why I'm like, that's so pure.
You're gonna have like curly haired children.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna have boys or girls?
I've always thought I'm gonna have girls.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's like something in me that's like
I think you're gonna have girls too.
girl. Like I'm giving girl mom.
Mm-hmm.
But-
100%.
But again, I
No,
don't know.
100%. I don't know what I'd
What do
be.
you think?
Girl, I don't know.
I don't either. But that's because I think.
I think I think I know actually,
Okay.
but I'm scared because I don't like the answer.
boy.
I think I'm gonna have
You're gonna be a
boys.
boy mom.
I think I'm gonna have 2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
I'm like, please be 2 girls because I need my daughter to have sisters. But I don't know why. It's this weird thing, and I think it's like God or like the universe.
Yeah.
Every single time I have like, there's like a nephew of mine or like a baby boy in my family, I'm very like like I feel like a maternal
Yes, there's, like,
instinct
a-
over it more than like with girls. And then I'm like,
Interesting.
fuck no.
Yeah. Wait, maybe.
But I'm gonna be raising gentlemen in the new generation. Don't you
You
worry.
can count on us.
And this is growth for me because I didn't want kids. And now I do.
Interesting. True.
And now I do. When I was in my early 20s, I didn't want kids, but now I do.
To me, marriage and having children is like such a far away concept that I'm like, no, this is still a concept. Like we're playing a game right now. Like to me, this isn't. But there will probably come a time where we're gonna listen back to this episode and be like, what the, like, girl, that actually did happen. Like, okay, that did happen.
Yes.
There's proof of it.
Mm-hmm. I literally told you. Remember that day that my third eye literally opened and I gave you
that
your
was-
future, and I
that
saw
day was
you. I
scary.
saw older like I saw the older version of you. That's
Yeah.
still you. It's just you were like grown. Like you looked
Mature,
like
yeah.
literally a grown woman. Your hair was different. And then I'm like, wait, this is sort of crazy because I'm gonna like see you in all the
Yeah, we're
chapters
gonna
of your life.
That's what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
though, is like that's why it's so crazy to me, because I'm like, yeah, we will know each other through every phase of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Duh, of course we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
But when we talk about it now, like in present tense, it's like we're writing a story. Like to me, I can't picture it as being like a real concept. I'm just like, that's something that's like still in like a parallel life, a parallel like thing that's happening, but years away. So it's like
it is
not
years away.
real to me. Yeah, but it is. Like it's real
It's
in
years
my mind
away.
and my heart.
We
but,
gotta
like,
we gotta grow. We gotta
in
make
theory.
money.
right.
We gotta.
like there's so many things that have to happen.
So many things have to
before.
happen before. It's really humbling to be in your 20s and like live with your family. In my head, right? You're like, oh my god, this is like so embarrassing. I live with my family and all that.
No, but it's only
No.
embarrassing.
It's only-
embarrassing.
Right, air quotes.
We are air quoting. It is only embarrassing because when we say it out loud, and I hate to say it, but most of
What?
the time when we're saying it out loud to someone, it's like when you're on a date or something, and then it makes you feel less than because you're comparing your life to probably this man who lives on his own or something. And then
Okay,
you're like,
true.
I hate to seem like I'm a child right now who like
Okay,
can't
but
really do much with my
to be
circumstances.
completely fair, all my friends live at home.
So do mine.
Yeah,
So do
right?
mine.
All my friends live at home. I know a lot of people who, after college, lived by themselves for a little bit, but then had to move back with their
Back home.
parents.
Mhm.
Especially in Miami, the rent here is actually crazy. It's
so
actually
expensive.
crazy. I do think that you're right in the sense that when you meet someone for the first time, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, like I remember I was meeting this guy We don't talk about him though.
No.
And he was like, no, like I met him in person. You know the one. Remember the wheelchair guy? You guys remember that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he got into an accident and like he was just like one night in a boot and like I was parading him around. Did you say that? Did you literally
No, I said wheeling him around.
Oh, I was wheeling him around this bar. Anywho, he was like, oh, like, where do you live? Like, where's your place? And I was like, oh, honey.
Did you say?
What
did you say?
I didn't answer him.
Oh, okay.
I literally didn't answer him. I was like, ha ha ha. Because one thing about me is I will just laugh and play it off. I was just like, ha ha.
What about us?
He was so much older than me. And I remember I was like, oh my God, he's asking me where my place is. Like, you want to go back to my place? Like, I don't have a place, hon. Like, I do have a place, but me, like, my mom's there.
Mommy, papi, no sé quién.
Mommy, papi,
Like-
lo perrito. Like, they're going to bark at you. Like, it's everyone. The whole family's there.
No,
And
it's so true.
I think it can be a little embarrassing because you feel like a kid. It's true, bro. But then when you have...
that, but it's like Hispanic households, too.
It's very
like,
Hispanic. And then you're like, they will come out and they'll be like, who is this? Like,
yeah.
it's weird. And then also it's just like a really weird concept. Like, oh my God, how does anyone in their 20s like
Introduce someone?
no, I was gonna say like have someone over in a not platonic way.
No.
I feel like there's something that they don't tell you about in your 20s if you still live at home. There's this awkwardness of like you have full independence, full reins, whatever, but then you also have to like let everyone in your family know like what's going down. Like if you're having someone over, just like introduce them.
Like
your friends are coming
everybody in
over.
your business. Everybody knows your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, at least our experience, is very much like everyone in our family knows where you're going, with who, what time are you returning home, which, like, if we lived on our own, this wouldn't be something that you would have to communicate because you're not seeing them every day. So it's not like, oh, I'm going this place right now to do this. But because you leave the house in their vicinity, like, everybody's got to know where you're going.
Oh, for sure.
So,
and I think
it's that's when it gets really...
It gets hard. It gets rough because I think it gets to a point where, at least for us, like we're 22, 23, and there's a certain, I don't know, like you just want a little bit of privacy. You just want a little bit of space and for people not to know your business. Not for anything. Like there's nothing wrong with your family being there for you.
And it's not like we're hiding anything either.
Right.
It's just that thing of you're an adult now.
You want your business to be your own.
You're like, obviously I'm not going to introduce someone if they're not like a pivotal character in my life yet. Like we haven't got into any stages where it's like what if I just want to like go out with someone, meet them for a day, maybe we don't vibe or something, and then not everyone needs to know the name of this random man that I met for one day. But then of course now I had to tell everyone I met this one dude one time and he's a character in there and everyone's in this family.
No, I know. Oh my God.
For like years to come. They're like,
why does that happen? That happens all the time. I remember.
Why are you bringing that up?
No, I remember. I was like talking on the phone with someone one time, and my mom was like, "Who were you talking on the phone with?" And I was like, "Oh no," and it's just like this guy that like asked me out. Like he just wants to like hang out. And she was like,
in her head forever.
That isn't, guys. It was like a week long of like, so when's the date? Are you going out with the guy? Like,
it's
what's
that.
his name? Who is
it's
he?
That every time.
And I was like, Ma, like. I don't even know him yet. Like, I'm not even sure if I want to go on this date. Like, chill. Like, please. I just wish that she would not. When you live at home, again, like, you just don't have time. Like, you don't have your own time, I guess. Like, you kind of have to work around your family also. And, like, if they need something from you, I guess that's just, like, my experience. But I feel like if I lived on my own, I would feel, like, less stressed and like I just have more time for myself and like if I want to put on loud music and just like dance and do my own thing, I can do that, right? But if I do it at home, I'm like disturbing everyone's peace or whatever. If I want to have all my friends over and have like a dinner party, I can do that if I'm on my own. But then like I can do that if I'm with my family, but then it's like, can we do it on this day? Can like we clear out everything? Can like you know, all these people are gonna come over. I don't know how to get over that embarrassment of like living at home and not even living at home. I just don't like it. Like I wish I lived on my own. Like,
but it's such a like you know the experience. If you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's like...
You want to be by yourself.
Yeah, and it's not even something of, like, embarrassment in retrospect. Like, when you're speaking to someone and, like, you say that. Like, it's so normal. And, like, nobody ever reacts in a way where they're like...
Right.
Oh, you still live at home? That's weird. Yeah, it's, like, not even embarrassing. It just makes you feel...
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you're saying it, you're like, oh, my God. Now I have to sound like I'm... a child for a few seconds.
I just think it's seen as something different here. Like, I don't know about you, but like obviously like we're Latin, and a lot of my cousins, like, literally they live with their families until like they're married.
Yeah.
Like until they're like engaged, like bye. Like they will stay for years and years, and it's like seen as something like very normal. Like it's normalized over there. And I feel like here it's like very, the norm is like you graduate, college, you move out, you work, and that's it. Literally. You know? And there's no like in between. There's no like we're figuring it out, we're moving back home, so it's like just like very weird ways of looking at things where it's like, yeah, I don't know, like I am used to this where it's like, okay, like you figure it out, you can live with your parents as long as you're doing this, like you're going to school, you're doing this, you're working, and you can live at home, like you're doing something. Yeah. And I think that's my current situation right now. But I do wish that I lived on my own, and I'm like fingers crossed that I will. Yeah. Eventually.
Very real.
Prepare. That will be so fun. Me and Cailyn always talk about our future apartment. Like we're always like, oh my God, like the Pinterest is gonna go crazy.
The Pinterest would be so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Normalize living at home with your parents in your 20s.
It's totally normal.
I think it's totally normal. I think that you would be surprised how many people live with their families still.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, when you're young, and we're still young, that's what I'm trying to say.
I kind of think we're babies, I'm not gonna lie.
We're so young.
Y'all are gonna be like, ew, don't talk about yourself like that. I agree. But I also think, like, I see myself and I look at, like, everyone that's older than me in my family. I'm like, whoa, we're, like, in completely different places, actually. No. Like, I look at my brother who's in his 30s and I'm like, yeah, I couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. Or even my brother that's, like, a little bit older than me. I'm like, actually, I couldn't. Like, I'm glad that I'm the age I am and,
like, we're
where
exactly
I'm at.
Where we're meant to be.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're still, like, we have so much to experience.
Mm-hmm. It's okay that you're, like, saving up or you move back with your parents. You're going to school and you, like, live at home. Like, I wish that it was just a little bit less, like, seen as like embarrassing or like you're a child, because I feel like that's why I get embarrassed about it sometimes.
Right. No, and like as long as we're taking care of ourselves and doing the stuff that needs to get done,
saving up for that beautiful apartment,
right?
Manifest for us. Do that little what's that thing, the claim I claim like claiming that apartment, bro.
We're claiming that apartment. No, like
manifest
we're
for us.
Manifesting. We always say we're gonna live together in like a cutie little apartment.
Mm-hmm. It just makes sense with like our goals. I think we've talked about this like
it makes
on the real.
So much sense for us.
Yeah, it really does.
Type I claim in the comments down below, because we're also whatever you choose to manifest today, it's gonna come to fruition because I said
for
so.
Sure.
So
for sure.
Everyone right now collectively manifest something in your head. Bring a thought to the forefront of your mind. Let's sit with that for a second.
I have one. My thought.
Okay.
In the forefront of my mind. I've brought it. I'm listening to
your... Are you going to say it out loud?
I'm listening to your instructions.
Is it like a birthday wish where you can't say it out loud when you're
blowing
out the candle?
Kind of. If it comes true, I'll let you know.
Okay. Everyone, we all have that thought.
Forefront, yes.
We're speaking it, and now type I claim.
Type I claim.
Type I claim in the comments below. I think it starts getting funny when it's like, share this video with
five friends and it'll come true. I love that.
And I'm like, not you scamming us
into that engagement. Hell yeah.
We're like, comment, share, and subscribe, and that manifestation that you just thought of
will come true. Anywho, speaking of money and being financially stable, I wish something I had learned when I was a little bit younger was to come up with like a financial plan, and I wish I would have learned about this sooner, but I have learned about it now, and I'm glad I did. Like, y'all need to have those high yield savings accounts. Y'all need to get those credit cards. Like, y'all need to build that credit.
Suddenly we are business podcast.
Suddenly I'm an accountant. I'm a finance.
We're literally CEOs of like high-end companies. Don't play with us.
Don't play. Definitely learn about that. I wish I would have asked my mom when I was like younger, and then like she literally sat me down. We were at the table. I had my computer open. I was like, all right, run me through everything I need to know. It was like adulting 101.
Why don't they
like,
teach you this stuff in school? I wish we learned in school are stuff that would be very useful in like the real,
for sure,
outside like street smarts.
For sure. And that's things that like I feel like you need to like ask people older than you or like learn yourself. I went the easy route and just asked like my parents, and I was like, okay, like teach me everything I need to know.
Like that's how I learned everything.
Right. Shout out
straight
to them.
up through my parents.
But I think it's really important to not like, I feel like it's really easy to just like spend your money, and I think I've learned this the hard way, that it's like you really need to save and you really need to come up with some sort of like financial plan for your 20s.
Yeah, so true.
That's something that I'm like working on. Like
also,
you're
like that guilt that you feel like when you're saving money and like you're buying yourself something.
Oh my god,
there's
it's
like
horrible.
This like underlying guilt every time. I'm like,
it's horrible.
Why I'm like, actually I'm not gonna buy that for like, because what's the purpose? Like I can use this on something else.
Oh my god,
that's
girl,
probably more important.
I literally have a debt to
so
pay.
bad.
I have debt to pay, and I will pay for something, and I'm like, I could have literally been paying for my debt with this.
That for that.
And it feels horrible, and it feels so irresponsible, and I'm like,
I know, so I hate that feeling.
It's literally horrible.
And even if it's like something that you're like, I'll treat myself today with like a little.
The financial guilt is actually like it eats me up alive. Like it literally like
I will not buy myself anything for that purpose, because I'm like, what was the reason for that? Like I could have used that for something else.
Today I wanted to have like a really good pasta from this restaurant, and I was like, nah, I'll make a sandwich at home.
Literally. Like, no, that's how I feel.
That shit is too expensive.
Every break at work where I'm like, do I go buy myself some? And I'm like, girl, I can't be doing this every day. Like for what reason? Then I'm just gonna be wasting every little bit that I'm saving on what, like the same meal every day?
No,
just because
no, girl,
your ass was lazy and didn't make a sandwich.
No, girl, and you know my ass is at like Walmart, and I'm looking for those BOGOs. I would refuse to buy meat at Publix. I'm literally at butcher shops. Like I literally was in a butcher shop trying to get meat for like no,
because the day that you texted, I was like,
I'm at a butcher shop right now. For real. I literally went to a butcher shop. I like took a video. I was like, wow, I've never been in like, one of these.
I was like, what?
And it was like in like the middle of nowhere. And I was like, okay. But anyway, all of this to say, I feel like we should be really careful with our money. Make sure that you like figure out, like, don't fall into toxic or bad habits, like spending habits. I know that your 20s, you're like, club, another club, outfit, concert, dinner, the trips, all that stuff. And you should, because like money will always come back, but you should also be very mindful. And I think that that's just a good reminder.
Yeah, it's important. When you get out of school, you have to figure out what's important to you and like what you want to give your time and energy to. Like you're no longer on someone else's schedule. You're making your own schedule. And that can be kind of tough.
That's been really hard for me, especially like not even like figuring out the more like career stuff, like the career-based stuff. I feel like my hobbies, like things that I fill my day with. And that also ties into like, I feel like sometimes I don't do enough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but like, how do I want my week to be? Because I'm listening to some advice of this girl that's like, you should be busy, booked and busy, not a second of free time. And I'm like, okay, but like, what? Yeah, like, I'm scared. I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. But I think what you were saying is like completely true, that it's like we're not working on someone else's schedule, or like
you have to be here at this time,
right?
And unless obviously you have a job and you have to be somewhere at a certain time, but like you're working your days around differently.
Cailyn had brought up a good point of like time management and figuring out time management in your 20s. I think that's something I've really struggled with, but what you need to know is like you have all the reins. Like you literally can decide to do this, that, and the other. You're working on your own time, obviously work and classes aside, if that's what you're doing, but figuring out your hobbies, going to the gym, going to visit someone, planning some stuff with your friends, like that's all stuff that you have to fully
make time for yourself.
Right.
Even like hanging out, like every time we're hanging out, it has to be like planned now. Like when we
the
were
Google
little,
calendars pulled
it's
out
always
every single
pulled
time.
out.
Even in recent years, like I sound so freaking dramatic when I say that, but I just mean like between like 19 to 21, like I feel like we just had more free time and everyone had more free time, and now everyone is in like different parts of the world, different paths of life, and we have to figure out like, okay, when am I seeing you, and when am I talking to you, and like I don't know, it's really weird. And I also think when it comes to yourself, like things that you make time for, that's what I struggle with the most, because I don't know why it's harder for me that I can like make time for others, but I can't really do that for myself. I have no clue, but I think that's the part that I just need to figure out, like what am I interested in?
It's the self-guilt.
What?
Yeah.
Clocked. Damn.
Clocked.
What can I be happy? Well, I think that's why we're doing like our little summer series, because we're trying to find things that like bring us joy and like go on all these adventures, and I love that. And I also think it's a nice balance between like being adults and doing all that fun stuff, but also leaning into the fun, childlike, like
giving ourselves space and time to like do stuff for the hell of it,
and like meet up with our friends and go to the places we've always wanted to go to. And this is supposed to be confusing, and it's supposed to feel chaotic, and it's also not supposed to make sense. I don't think you can make sense of it. Like I think that it's just something that you have to live and learn, and I think that builds your character like fully. Like I think this is the coming of age character development part of our lives, because I think we're meant to struggle. I know that sounds so dramatic and like morbid, but like I think we're supposed to
truly, like,
be challenged.
You're supposed to go through challenging moments in order to learn what you're capable of,
for
and that
sure,
you're able to get through it.
And I think you're supposed to fail and figure out and make mistakes and learn from them and become a better person, discover who you are.
You need that. You need like the opposite of that.
You have to sort of be at a low place
that is
to
actually a
thrive.
part of life. Like everybody goes through
I think
stuff.
so.
Everybody goes through stuff.
And I think it's just about finding like the joy in those moments. Like the
little things.
All the little things, all the little times we get to hang out, all the times we get to do, like anytime you get to do all those like workout classes, or you get to see your friends, or you get to see your family, or you just have time for yourself. Like, oh my God, that was such a nice morning I just had. I think that's like the pretty parts of all of it. Yeah. And I also think all those fun days, like going out, meeting new characters, like we have so many characters in our life that we're like, you know that guy? Remember that guy?
I know.
And it's like, it's just so funny. And I think we have to like embrace it.
Like this part of your life isn't going to last forever.
No, I know.
So that's actually really sad. Not like you, like if you think about it, like we're like, yeah, we're in the trenches right now, but also
it's great.
It's only going to last so long.
Like we're young.
Like we're young.
It's fun. Like there's not a lot of responsibilities right now.
Like all the times that we're complaining about something, it's always like dumb shit in like retrospect. Like we'll look back at it and it's like, okay, it was annoying. It was annoying at the time, but also like we're not gonna have this forever. And like it's such a joy that we get to like do this stuff now.
We also like really find new people in our lives. Like I've heard like a lot of people are like, oh, it's a red flag when you don't have like those childhood friends still in your life. And for me, I just feel like the best people I've ever met in my life were the ones I met in my adult years. And I love that. And I have no shame about that. And so that's something that I'm like, oh, I love that about my 20s, is like I met those people that have been like such a
pivotal figures.
Yes. And like so important. And I just feel like that's, I don't know, like y'all see the good and the bad. Like it's all a part of it. And I think it's part of the process, and we just have to be like in it, like just go through it. Like that's how I feel. I'm like, I am gonna do this, that, and the other. Like I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, but at the end of the day, there's no place like I'd rather be. Like this is where I'm at. Truly. And there's so many good things about that too. So I just hope that, you know, we're literally all in this together. Like
we say this all the time, but truly
we're
like
all in this together.
Like
trust.
If there's ever anyone that you're like, oh my God, who's going through it, like I must be the only one feeling this way, like know that you're not, and that us too are right there with you.
Like, and anyone that you see is like thriving and all that stuff, they're probably going through it too. But yeah, if you guys want to see more of us in our 20s, follow us on the summer series. Make sure you subscribe because that's going to be so much fun. And if you want to see more of us, please be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Full-Time Daughter Pod because we want to share more about our lives on there. And let us know how you guys are doing. Comment below what Cailyn said earlier, but also let us know what's going on in your lives. You know, the DMs are always open. And make sure if you are following up with like our book club, comment, please let us know. Like, we want to know everything.
Stay in touch with us,
of course.
And also be sure to follow, rate, and review the podcast. We love reading your reviews, which, by the way, we've seen some of the new reviews.
We're gonna post them.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
They're the cutest things ever, and we really appreciate it. I'm really happy that when you guys hear our episodes, it kind of feels like just like a phone call or just talking with your friends,
or you feel connected to us.
I love that, and we feel connected to you guys. So thank you so much for listening.
Yeah,
and we're excited.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. We really appreciate it, and
thank you for taking the time to do so. And we'll see you next week because
it's a full-time job at this point.
Yeah.
There you go.
What else we gotta say? That's all.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.